All right, Capricorn, hi loves, and welcome to the Mother Tressa channel. If you're already familiar with this space, then you already know what to expect, so welcome back. Glad to be interacting with your energy. But if you're new, then come on in with an open mind and an open heart and just hear what I have to say. Take what resonates. You know what is true just based off of how you feel and just an observation of your situation or circumstance. But if it does resonate, then definitely like this video, share it with other Capricorns that you know, and subscribe if you like the vibe and you want more. But also hit that post notification so you're made aware as soon as I upload a video. Today, I kind of want to start off with talking about the transits that are actually happening right now, and how it can be personally affecting you and the things that you want to do and how you could choose to move just based off of how the energies are interacting with each other. Now, energy is fluid, so though I'm expressing what's happening right now, you can feel it in days to come, if not like a week or two later. But right now, the sun is in Taurus at 26 degrees, so that's double Taurian degree, because the number 26 is associated to the zodiac sign of Taurus. And for those that don't know how to count degrees, what you can do is just take a blank piece of paper and write out Aries through Pisces as the first 12, right? And then when you get to 13, go back up to Aries and go back down through the list in not chronological order, but in the order of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Okay, until you get to 29, and that will help you to be able to know when somebody says sun is in Taurus at 26 degree, what I'm talking about there, okay? But yeah, that is what the transit is right now. So for those of you who maybe in the beginning of this whole quarantine process were feeling very restless and just couldn't wait to be able to go out and interact with friends and family and business partners again, because you realize just how much you could have taken advantage of that privilege before, and or just didn't utilize the opportunities and or maximize on the opportunities presented to you when you had the chance to before quarantine. And so it's like, man, I just can't wait to get outside so that I can do what's been on my mind and what's been on my heart to create, or just go after in general as far as whatever desires you can have. However, now that the sun is in Taurus at 26 degrees, I feel like we are back in that energy of appreciating also the space that this quarantine has given us to relax. And so Netflix and chill is not going to bother you at this time. If anything, you welcome more of it at this time, right? So that is what is coming through as far as energy and how I am feeling it and how you guys can be feeling it. The moon is in Pisces at 22 degrees, which is a Capricorn degree? 21, yeah, because 21 is Sagittarius, so 22 degrees Capricorn. So, and then Mercury is 10 degrees Gemini, which is a Capricorn degree. So with that Earth influence, it's like if you are hearing anything at this time or expressing an opinion at this time, or no, let me back up. If you are speaking or you're listening to someone speak at this time, what you care more about is the fact of the matter more so than the opinion that someone can be bringing in. And the way that you receive information or receive insights, maybe from body language in your interactions with another person, or in the tone of voice that somebody is speaking to you in when it comes to communication, and or just behaviorally what you're doing, and the way that that is received with that moon energy, is very practical and rational. So you're looking at the situation as a how can I give an example? I froze for a second there. But an example, I was trying to think of one. So what Dang, I keep forgetting. It's leaving me. It was on the tip of my tongue. Okay, when it comes to matters of the heart, an example of this is with Venus being retrograde also at 21 degrees, which is a Sagittarian degree. A lot of people from the past can be trickling back into your life, trying to make certain appearances through the social media platforms that you use the most heavily, and may be trying to engage with whatever material that you can be creating at this time, just to kind of see how, kind of like testing the waters, right? Just to see how resentful you may still be or bitter you could be about the situation, and or if you're at a place where you have forgiven them, and you know it's like a bygones be bygones type of ordeal. With the moon being in Pisces at 22 degrees, it's you looking at these people coming back and really assessing based off of the history that you had with that person if the emotions that you're actually feeling are valid. Okay, so you're not going to be super reactive at this time. You're just going to be observing, right? And then retracing your steps by way in which going back to that particular dynamic that you had and looking at the person and saying like, okay, like, no, this person betrayed my trust in X, Y, and Z way. And I never did anything to them to make them feel like they even had to treat me in such a manner. Just based off of the principle of things, I wouldn't do what they've done to me, then that is valid. But if you're looking at the situation and you know that you in any way instigated a certain disagreement to happen, just to create that chaos and that contrast that you need in life out of your own boredom, or just because a certain placement within your chart needed to be activated to kind of get you to move on something or to find a resolution for something that you've been looking at, knowing that it's decaying but not doing anything to preserve it in any way. So you can be looking at it like that, like, okay, was it my own illusions and the fantasy of what I was hoping to create? Is that my fault? And or is this person really somebody that I don't want to have access to my energy and moving accordingly, right? So you're not going to be super reactive. You're going to really think about what's happening right now. Saturn is retrograde also in the zodiac sign of Aquarius at 1 degree. So you can be looking at the ways that you are restricted and or limited and or your business endeavors, with Jupiter also being retrograde in Capricorn at 27 degrees, which is Gemini degree. Jupiter in Capricorn at 27 degrees. Yeah, Virgo degree. You can be dragging your feet to get something done at this time, or kind of feeling like that, like harder for you to want to be productive. I mean, look outside. It's raining, it's cold, and it's windy. It's kind of like pick a struggle, you know what I'm saying? And so like when you look at that, you can't help but to want to snuggle up and just like lay down and just watch movies, you know, just be a recluse here. But if you know that there are certain deadlines that you still have to complete for whatever projects you're working on, or if you work over the weekends, then it's just gonna take you twice the time to get it done than it normally would here. Some of you guys, you're dragging your feet because what you're wanting to bring into tangible space that has not quite yet manifested, right? It's been all in the mind at this point, your imagination. You're too stuck in the mind, so you can't bring yourself to do it because you don't really know where to start. So that can be troubling you at this time. It can be a little frustrating here. And or if you have a business and you were trying to do like a grand opening. I was about to say grand release, but I'm like, no, that doesn't make sense. But a grand opening or like a release party if you're into music, or some other service, if you had a storefront in any way, the delays can make you feel discouraged enough to drag your feet with all of the minor details that you can still be working on while everything else is kind of halted and delayed at this time. But let's see what came out for you guys. You have the Moon card with the 8 of Coins and the 3 of Swords. 7 of Swords, Ace of Coins, and the Tower is at the bottom of the deck here. So yeah, this is pretty much right on par with what I was saying as far as how you can construct and kind of set up a moment to implode on yourself or to make something work. Like you intend to work against something that you have in your life. So this can be a relationship, somebody that you're connecting to or that you would like to connect to. But you have the mentality of, well, it's going really great, but no good thing lasts forever. So let me fuck things up before they have the chance to do it. So it's kind of like a better me than you, which is strange because it's usually the other way around. Like better you than me, better for you to get hurt than for me to have to, you know, lick my wounds at the end of the day. Some of you guys are in that situation though. You've just come out of a chaotic cycle with somebody that may not have been the most mentally stable here, because you know the Moon is associated with Cancers, and Cancers can be very moody, but La Luna, which is the Spanish way of saying the moon, is an abbreviated form of the full word of a lunatic. So somebody can very well either be misdiagnosed, never got diagnosed and or treated, and or are diagnosed, have treatment but don't take their prescription medications, but be manic depressive. That's what's coming through. And if you don't have any knowledge of mental health and or how to engage with somebody that is struggling with their mental health, then it can be really overwhelming, and you never really knowing what to do, never feeling like you have the right answer or feeling like you are helping. But again, it comes from lack of knowledge. So for some of you guys, if you feel like that's just too much pressure and responsibility at your age and what you are willing to sign up for in order to make sure that you can remain sane, then you could potentially be leaving the situation or trying to orchestrate the scenario to where the other person will break up with you, you know? Just so that you don't feel like a bad person at the end of the day. I'm hearing it's not you, it's me. So that's a situation that you can be involved in. Or if you are completely single, you, with this Venus and Gemini retrograde transit that we have, it's you really taking the time to figure out the type of person that you want in your life. Like you're ready for something solid, something that can stand the test of time here. You're ready to build a strong foundation with somebody, but who, you know? Some of you guys, you're daydreaming about that perfect relationship for you. Or you could be rethinking a past person and whether or not you would want to give it another try. because you feel like you're more mature now, you have more wisdom from certain relationships that you have gone through, and so you know how to be a better partner now. So this could be wanting to reconnect with somebody that you went to high school with, or like in college, like freshman year, lower level. Always think about that, the lowest tier. When you see the Three of Swords. But yeah. Some of you guys, you might be afraid of what they would say or what the response can be because of how much time has passed. You don't know if they even still feel the same. But you feel like back then, you know, you guys were immature. You know, you were kids. You didn't know anything about love. You didn't understand love. You couldn't describe love then. And so there were a lot of misunderstandings. A lot of things getting lost in translation with you guys trying to express yourselves. So yeah, that's on the table for some of you guys. Or this can be what somebody else is doing, like they're thinking of reaching out to you, somebody that you know from your past. And again, with the moon being in Pisces at 22 degrees, you're looking at them and the offer and going and determining, you know, whether or not it would be worth backtracking, like retracing those steps. But you guys are going to be repairing the tears in your heart that you caused at the end of the day, if nothing else. Like, you're not going to be putting the blame on anybody else. You know, you have to really look at these dynamics that you've been in and that you've experienced and acknowledging the fact that you allowed what happened to happen until you got to the point where it was too much. But I see you guys being very gentle with yourself. And also, when you look at like your past partners, you're going to be very careful with the way that you can now objectively see the situation, right? And the way that you look at the person. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So Capricorn, if this reading resonated, give me a thumbs up, share this with your friends and family, and subscribe. But if, also, if you would like to book a personal private session with me, you can do so. Send me an email and we will go from there. But if I don't hear from you, then please just take care of yourself and so until you see me again. Ciao.